This is where you say, hi YouTube, hello YouTube, use our famous hello YouTube. Hello YouTube, today we are creating a tier list for every seasonal artifact mod since the release of Shadowkeep in Destiny 2. Right, shall we begin? Okay chat, the first mod on today's list is Abyssal Charge. Become charged with light by defeating combatants with void melee abilities. I think it's C tier. I didn't even use it when it came out. C tier. It looks like everyone's saying C tier. Alright, that's that sorted. Next up, this is one of my favorites. We've got Anti-Barrier Sniper. We've only had this once. I'm pretty sure they gave us this because they were testing out the potential for Arbalist. Bearing in mind that the snipers could like one-shot the way the Arbalist does, pretty much. The thing was, success, you still needed to, in Grandmasters, I'm pretty sure you needed to fire 2 shots, but Izanagi's Burden with ×4 could do a 1-pop. Nothing game breaking. Yeah, it was just another champion mod that was really good. I think it's A tier, chat. Did anybody try out Anti-Barrier Darcy or Anti-Barrier Whisper of the Worm at the time? Borealis as well, yeah. I might need a refresher on what this bad boy is. So Arc Battery grants an overshield when you activate your class ability. This was notorious in that season. You think this was S tier? It really became a problem, especially like Hunters, didn't it? Oh, I think it's a unanimous S tier. I'm putting it straight in S tier. Next up, we've got one of the dual resist mods. This one was for Solar and Void. Armor of the Dying Star. S tier because Artifice armor. I actually loved the double resist mods that it gave us. Any double size mod is S tier. I love what they did because it's like 1 energy cost, 2 energy cost, all S tier. I'll fire this in S tier. I agree. There's not a season that goes by that I don't unlock those straight away. If I see a dual resist mod, it is unlocked straight away. Good stuff. Next up, we've got Ballistic Combo. Ballistic Combo grants melee energy on final blows with shield piercing weapons or when a member of your fire team shuts down a barrier champion's ability. That was really good with Stasis. I mean, a lot of the stuff was experimental, wasn't it? I'm thinking this is B tier. Getting your melee back isn't exactly groundbreaking against champions, you know? When are you ever using a melee against champions? This would be great if we had the second chance exotic with this, you know? Because you need your use these 2 melees to pop a barrier shield. You got it against normal ads too. I'm going to put this... I think this is B tier, chat. Nah, it's locked in. It's locked in, sniper. Alright, next up we've got Berserker. When your super ends, you gain a temporary bonus to weapon damage. The duration and strength of this bonus is increases based on the number of combatants you defeated with your super. Increase weapon damage post-super. The more kills you got during your super, the longer it lasted. I know, that's true. You finished your super and then you're running around like... Hi, where is everybody? I definitely didn't use this much. I love the concept. I love the name as well. Something about Berserker sounds really cool. It's very niche. It was very niche. I'm going to put it in B tier. We think it's C tier. Okay, I see a few C tiers. It's going in C tier. The season we all forgot about. That's right. Okay, next one is one of the Glamour Booster mods. I actually put this in by accident, but just a reminder that these things actually existed. This was Biomonetizer. Biomonetizer. Defeating Hive combatants grants extra glimmer. Mod does not stack. S tier for glimmer. You guys are memeing. I think these came out in since Season of the Undying. You guys think it's S tier? Oh shoot, I need glimmer for my trials card at the weekend. Alright, chat's memeing hard. It's going on S tier. That's your one meme one of the day. I'm going to allow this. G tier for glimmer. Okay, moving on. We're on to Breach and Clear. This came out in Season of the Splicer. I think this is a unanimous S tier. This was at the height of anarchy and raids. If you need a reminder, Breach and Clear was... When using a grenade launcher, damaging a boss, damaging a champion, or breaking a combatant's shield, reloads your stowed weapons and causes a combatant to take increased damage for a short duration. That was from all sources, by the way. It was also amazing for the Atheon fight. You popped on Anarchy, you fired a couple, you got your snipers off, and you had all that increased damage. Breach was goated. It's going in S tier. Straight in S tier. Okay, next up, I believe, is Bleach Refractor. Grants grenade energy on final blows with shield-piercing weapons, or when a member of your fire team shuts down a barrier champion's ability. It didn't refill your grenades, like, instantly, did it? We're thinking A tier. Low A to high B. I think it's A tier. I think getting ability energy just for, like, knocking champions or whatnot is pretty cool. That's right. I'm going to put in A tier for Bleach Refractor. Okay, the next one is Bleach Resonator. Grants melee and grenade energy on final blows with shield piercing weapons. Same effect, except it gives you grenade and melee energy. Is that better than A tier? Same effect, but better. Is it enough to jump up to S tier? I think it's S tier too. I definitely remember using it quite frequently. One of the biggest things I'm guilty of is not trying out the artifact mods until it's too late. Oh boy. Chat, we all know what this mod is. I think we all know where it's going to go. We ain't going to be mad about seeing the back of it. D tier, destroy that thing. Yeah, make the most of it. Is anyone else deliberately trying not to use it so they're not crutching it for the new season? I definitely think solo flawless dungeons with classy resto. Sure. Chat, we know this has been S tier because it's been so powerful. It's been being hotly discussed all season. It never got nerfed. Straight in S tier. Okay, next up, this is Counter Charge. If you need a reminder, Counter Charge. Become charged with light whenever you or a member of your fire team stuns a champion. That is really strong. This feels pretty S tier to me. All you had to do was stun a champion to become charged with light, and that meant you could fuel protective light at the time, high energy fire, that sort of thing. I think this is S tier. Getting charged with light for stunning a champion. Easy mode. Dark Glimmer. Yes. Doing a finisher on a hive, giving you Glimmer. I'm pretty sure it was like a shower of Glimmer, which is pretty cool. Can I put it in D tier, chat? You've literally got Rainmakers, man. You're wasting a mod slot. I'm pretty sure these cost like 2 or 3 energy as well. I'm keeping that in D tier. Okay, next up. This is Devouring Depths. For those who need a reminder, casting your Void Super while you're critically wounded or benefiting from Devour increases your damage with that super. I'm feeling it's a solid A. The damage was insane. Like, see on Orpheus Rig Tever, I'm pretty sure you hit like an extra 60k per volley on Rulk, which was really good. I'm going to put it in A for Devouring Depths. Okay, next up is Disruptor Spike. For those who need a reminder, Disruptor Spike improves the effects of disruption, lowering combatants' damage output even further. This was more of a wombo mod for your grenades. So if you had like overload grenades at the time, this would lower their damage output further. It says improves the effects of disruption, so targets did less damage to you. This is feeling like a B tier for me. Yeah, it was useless on its own. I'm going to put it in C tier. I think it relied too much on you having out overload grenades. C tier, chat? Yeah, the void. I remember it with the voids, oppressive grenades. Aye, okay. We have a winner. C tier. Right, chat. Next up, we've got Energy Accelerant. I believe this increased the effects of Dragonfly, Firefly, and Chain Reaction. I also remember it being absolutely nutty with Crown Splitter. Didn't this break with Telesto? Isn't this one of the mods that interacted with Telesto and went, uh-oh, it doubled the damage for Telesto? Let's just say the broken version, because I admit it had more time as the broken version than the fixed version. I'm happy with that going in S tier. Chat, I think that's unanimous. One of the many Telesto game-breaking moments. Energy Vampirism. Gain energy for your least charged ability when you suppress a target. Energy Vampirism was good in GMs. Yeah, it felt like one of those ones that it was handy to have, but it wasn't insane, was it? This is feeling like B tier for me, chat. I think it's going to stay B tier, chat. Okay, next up, we've got Enhanced Small Arms Loader. Not heavy finisher if you're here at the Twitch stream, by the way. Okay, for those who don't know, Enhanced Small Arms Loader, increase your reload speed for hand cannons, sidearms, submachine guns, and bows. This is straight up S tier. Like, I'm pretty sure this was like 2 energy or something, and you were covered. Like, you could literally use all those weapons and have like that fast reload. We've got quite a few B tiers. I kind of want to put it in A tier. I think that's a happy medium. It's just a reload mod, people. B tier, right? We'll keep it B tier, right? It was just a reloader. Okay, next up, we have Fire and Ice. Defeating a champion spawns multiple solar and stasis wells. You kill a champ and you spawned wells. And I kid you not, it must have been like 6 elemental wells. I'm pretty sure that season there was mods that used stasis elemental wells. I think it's looking like A tier. Chat's looking pretty happy with A tier. Excellent. And the next mod up for scrutiny is Flame Harvesting. For those that need a refresher though, Flame Harvesting. Solar exotic final blows create solar elemental wells. I've not used this mod, I'll be honest. Like, you've literally got elemental armaments, which you can create solar elemental wells from any solar weapon. I mean, I guess it spawns them more frequently, but not used. This sounds the amount of ways to generate wells now makes it kind of redundant. Yeah, I think this goes in C tier. It's a cool idea, but we've got too many ways to create these elemental wells. Chat, I think this is C tier for flame harvesting. I didn't find its effect like interesting enough. So for those of you that reminder, flare up. Immediately regain your melee charge when you or an ally stuns or staggers an unstoppable champion. I remember using throw knives for it. Yeah, being able to like regen melees like that was so cool for sure.
Hey you. Yeah, you. On YouTube watching this right now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you're enjoying this type of content.
You heard the man. You heard the man. Click that subscribe button. Leave us a comment. Right, chat. Like, we're getting carried away here. Flare up. I think it was A tier at least. This is Focusing Lens. You guys remember what Focusing Lens did? If you need a reminder, your light abilities do bonus damage to combatants affected by stasis. Now, you're saying S tier, right? Is it still S tier in the terms of Warlock's Well of Radiance work with everybody's weapons standing in a well as long as the target was affected by stasis? Then they changed it to make it that only the Warlock whose well that it belonged to could benefit from the effect. A tier because you would not have it on all times. Other supers benefit greatly, yeah. Blade Barrage, Golden Gun were some. Thunder Crash. And yeah, if you were a hunter, you would be the one in charge of inflicting stasis. Okay, I think it's S tier no matter the time. I remember using it during Grasp of Avarice when Sleeper Simulant and Particle Deconstruction and all that were in the game. I think it's S tier. It's one of my favorite mods. It's one of the ones that requires setup and you get rewarded for using it. Right, we're making some headway now, chat. We've got a few on the boards. Next up, we've got this bad boy. From the Depths was pretty much grants bonus void super damage if cast while critically wounded. Lasts until the end of super activation. So now we've got Devouring Depths, which does that and also activates if you've got Devour. Well, you would need to be critically wounded, and critically wounded I'm sure is like your shield's broken. B tier. Was it worth getting critically wounded? Looks like B tier for a lot of chat. I'm feeling B tier as well. From the Depths. This one here is Glacial Inheritance. Defeating targets with your stasis super refunds super energy. What was the super regens like on it? It wasn't amazing. I'm feeling A or B. It went hand in hand with stasis before stasis got nerfed. A tier chat. 3 super regens. Looks like most people are saying B tier. It was good with all supers. Okay, A tier, final answer, and it was before stasis got nerfed, man. There was a time. Next up, we've got Glaive of Dreams. This was only really good this season for solo duality, wasn't it? While you have a glaive equipped, the unstable essence buff gained by picking up objects dropped by nightmares has double its normal duration. Very situational. It ended up only really having one use, wasn't it? I think this is C tier, by the way. Just straight out the gate. I think this is C tier. I still think it's not as bad as D tier though. I think it's too situational, but had a use. Okay, Guardian Angel. For those that need a reminder, like myself, Guardian Angel grants a chance to generate healing orbs for you on Scout Rifle, Sniper Rifle, Bow, and Linear Fusion Rifle Precision Final Blows. I think I maybe tried this once. The healing orbs were a bit meh. I think it had a use in PvP, but you would have to be chaining kills because it was a chance. It says grants a chance. That word chance is very convoluted in Destiny. Looks like a lot of C tiers. I'm feeling this is C tier as well. Right now, definitely wouldn't like last in the game. We've got so many ways to heal. Okay, next up, this is Hammer of the Warmind. Detonations from Warmind cells can cause disruption, stunning combatants, delaying ability energy regeneration, and lowering combatant damage output. So it worked against unstoppables and overloads. I love this mod. This was like at the height of the Warmind cell meta for PvE. Don't get me wrong, if you're creating Warmind cells in PvE and Grandmasters especially, it was a bit hard to like get multi-kills. This is A or S for me, definitely, chat. Did the same thing as other Warmind mods, but it had the champion effect as well, so it was useful in the end game. I think it's an A tier, chat. Messiah A, Artifact A. Right, we've got a bunch of A's. Excellent. Okay, next up, Heavy Ammo Finisher. We got it. For those that weren't here just earlier, I mixed up Small Arms Loader as a Heavy Ammo Finisher. Okay, Heavy Finisher. The thing about Heavy Finisher in this instance was it consumed half your super to create the heavy ammo. Chat, this was before Eons got their buff, I'm sure, or around about the same time. And to top that, it used half your super energy, which was quite a big trade-off. Although I remember it being notorious for Chaos Reach Warlocks for PvE. B tier. I think B tier is a good placement, a good place to start. Using half your super for heavy ammo. It was still really cool though, because we hadn't really had anything that strong at the time. It was a big necessity for a few GMs. It was dummy good. Okay, I think a few folks said A, so I'm happy to put it in A. Okay, next up we've got Impulse Recycler. Grenade final blows grant grenade energy. Multiple copies of this mod increase the amount of energy gained. I definitely didn't use this one. I admit, I recognize the icon. It was a loot kind of ability. It was grenade final blows gave you grenade energy. Reaching clear energy or war mines to clear over this always turned every grenade into Ashen Wake. But our grenades really weren't that powerful at the time, were they? I think this is B tier for Impulse Recycler. Any advance on B tier? Okay, we'll go B tier. I think most people didn't really get a use out of that mod. This is Lightning Strikes Twice. After throwing an arc grenade, gain increased grenade recharge for a short time. Arc final blows extend the duration of this benefit. So you could use your arc weapons to extend the uptime, I guess, until you got your grenade back. I wonder if we'll get something like this next season with Arc 3.0. I barely used this. I think this was C tier, just because you had to chain kills with it to actually fully utilize the effect. I don't think it gave a lot of energy back. This is feeling very C tier to me. It was good with Stormcaller, nothing else. Yeah, you could like chain using Crown of Tempest, couldn't you? Okay. Next up, we've got Lucent Finisher. This was a staple mod when it was out that season. Lucent Finisher was defeating champions, or Lucent Hive gives you heavy ammo without a super cost. Just straight S tier, chat. Can we do... I'm pretty sure we know it's S tier. Heavy ammo was so good to have. This thing actually made the Light Blade a bit more bearable. Even more so when you could pair it with Eons and Invis Hunters and stuff. Okay, awesome. Okay, next up, this one's called Momentum Siphon. Recharge your melee ability whenever you or a member of your fire team staggers a champion. I remember using this with Warlock, Shadebinder, and you could just go boop over and over and over again. A tier. I think this is A tier as well, but it was really useful. If I remember correctly, the main one I used this in was the Hall Lair Nightfall, and we were able to freeze overloads like over and over again. I think this is a solid A for me. What do we think? It was good because you could your melee abilities became more important as the subclasses got developed. And for Shadebinder Warlock, it was nuts. Any advance on A? Any decline? Move on to the next one. A for sure. Okay. Next up, we have Nightmarish Opulence. Increases the duration of the Psycho Hack origin trait and the effect of the Extrovert origin trait. This is actually really nuts with the Extrovert trait. Not so much the Psycho Hack one. I'm putting this in B tier, okay? It's just an origin trait enhancer. The origin traits are fine on their own, and it just gives that bit more flavor, but it's not insane. I'm just concerned that once these are gone, that the origin traits won't ever feel as good again, and then that they're constantly going to add these in as other mods at any point in time. This is Oppressive Darkness. Causing damage with a void grenade adds a weaken effect to combatants, and let me tell you, it was beautiful. This was there when Shadowkeep came out, because we used it in Garden of Salvation. The OG Oppressive Darkness. It was amazing for Hunters and Titans, especially. In fact, it was just great on all three classes, because we all had grenades that could tag enemies. Titans with Magnetic Grenade. Titans with is it Armamentarium and Oppressive Darkness? Whew. This is S tier, chat. This was meta as frick for raids. I'm pretty sure people were memeing on bosses with it as well. You got nowhere without it. Was it 30%? Thanks. I couldn't remember the exact values. Okay, next up, this is one that's in the artifact right now, and that's Overload Trace Rifles. Has anyone paired this with Agar Scepter, by the way? Because if you haven't, you're missing out. I think they missed a beat with this because I'm pretty sure you had to charge the shot still. Usually you would hope for it to be like an instant activation, but I'm pretty sure you have to charge the shot still. And yeah, Divinity. Hi, Divinity. It was a cool idea. It was cool that they gave us the chance at overloading with all Trace Rifles, but Divinity just does it the best. I think this is B tier or C tier. Yeah, Trace Rifles still need a bit more love, especially for higher value targets. I'm pretty sure they do the same amount of damage as like auto rifles or something. Okay, looking like a lot of C tiers, B tiers. Put in B tier. It was definitely a good innovation to try out, but it wasn't game changing. It only really worked good with the exotic Trace Rifles. That's a Trace Rifle problem more than a champion mod problem. Next up, we have Particle Deconstruction. This mod was insane, man. Like, unbelievable. Straight up, It's S tier, chat. Like, there's no doubt about it. Particle Deconstruction was the most nutty damage enhancing mod that we've ever had for fusion rifles. Fusion rifles were insane that season. Vex Mythoclast. I feel for those who didn't get Vex Mythoclast from Vault of Glass to use with that mod, by the way. People went full clears every week throughout that season and then get Vex, and they didn't get to use it with that. It turned everything into butter. It was mental. Okay, chat. Passive guard. Someone in chat the other night said this should be a perma mod that we can equip at any time. And I totally agree. Passive guard. Receive less damage from combatants that are close to you while you're wielding a sword. It was just so much fun. I actually made things like Overload Sword, which we'll get to, viable. You feel indestructible. It felt imagine passive guard with the resilient changes right now. I had this really fun build for the hold layer. It was a blinding grenade launcher, Devil's Ruin, and then Crown Splitter on my Titan. S tier for passive guard, chat. I don't think that's up for debate, is it? Okay, next up is Psionic Forging 1. So this one buffed the Psycho Hack origin trait and the Suros Synergy origin trait. I definitely think for Psionic Forging 2 it was better. The Hacky effect was good to buff. Psionic Forging 1 B tier for me. Psionic Forging 2 A tier. Not totally game changing, but kind of strong if you were using the weapons that were tied to. Yeah, I think they just need to give us those as standard mods. Okay, next up, Heretic Embrace. Casting a solo super restores you to full health and shields. I think that's A tier. I don't think I used it though. Very underrated. I can picture that being really good in Crucible, where you're in trouble, you cast your super and you're healed on the spot. I'm putting it A tier, chat. I don't think it's insane, but I think it's strong. Things like Well Radiance and stuff for PvE. Okay, that's where that's going for me, chat. This is Radiant Orbs. I've used this quite a lot this season. Radiant Orbs make you radiant for picking up Orbs of Light. You think it's kind of mid, considering the 100 different ways we can make ourselves radiant. It was good for builds, but maybe that was it, really. Yeah, this is going in C tier for me. It was fun to put in builds, but it wasn't insane. Okay, Rays of Precision. Well Radiant, Solar Precision Final Blows cause combatants to ignite. This is one that I wish I'd used. I used it briefly with the bow, but like Incandescent makes it so easy to like get ignitions as it is. It's a fun mod, but it's not like an insane mod. Yeah, it's a fun mod. It's going in B tier for me. It's neither here nor there, but it's not S tier in any way. Okay, next up, Resin and Siphon. Gain stasis ability energy whenever you or a member of your fire team stuns a champion. This was better than the last one because it gave you grenade energy and melee energy. I love this. You could just spam abilities like mad and Nightfalls. Stasis turrets, endless grenades. It was a good time. I think this was A tier, not entirely S tier. If you paired it with all the overload abilities and stuff, you could just spam grenades and melees on stasis. It was really strong. The Hunter melee spam. Titans could build barricade after barricade after barricade. Really good mods. Cool. Next up, we have this bad boy. Everyone's straight up with S tier. Okay. I think it's S tier too. If you guys haven't seen the one-shot champion build, go ask the mad lad Revenant about it. It's mad. I hope they give us something that does that effect, like a weapon at least, or the actual mod itself. Next up, we've got Solar Fulmination. This is one that I haven't really tapped into. Your ignitions do increased damage in an increased radius. How does it stand on its own without Revitalizing Blast? I think it's A tier on its own, so it is really that good. All round, so S tier. Okay, I'll put it in S tier. I'll humble you guys this time. These two are holding hands together. Okay, Solar Plexus. Increased damage of all solar melee abilities. Gain super energy from performing finishers with a solar subclass equipped. Like being able to gain super energy from finishers. How much did it buff damage? I'm taking it stacked with things like 1-2 punch and Synthoceps, so it was kind of broken. I think it's A tier. The increased bonk. Always the bonk. You Titans and your hammer, man. I think it's A tier though, because what about the other subclasses? Did it do more damage in PvP? Did it make Warlock's Celestial Fire worse? Like more damage? I'll put it in S tier then this time. Where are those S tier? Okay. This is Soul of the Praxic Fire. Activating solar class abilities grants an overshield and increases the cooldown of your class ability. Okay. This was like Arc Battery, but for solar. What made this not as powerful as Arc Battery? Or increases your cooldown? I would read that as it made it faster, so it actually slowed it down. So this was like a balanced version. Okay. So like this is maybe B tier because of the trade-off. I definitely did not use this, if at all. I'm not a fan of decreasing stuff. B tier for balanced. Okay, go A tier for the gamers here. Okay, next up is Spoils of War. I think this was basically Lucent Finisher before Lucent Finisher was a thing. I just can't remember if it costs super energy or not. Feed a champion by using a finisher spawns heavy ammo for you and your fire team. It's the exact same, isn't it? Put it right above Lucent. Okay. These can go hand in hand, okay? Okay, next up, this one was Sundering Blast. Sundering Blast. Stunning a champion creates an explosive blast. This was before Solar 3.0, so, you know, this is discount revitalizing. I think this is B tier. Feels like a B tier to me. It did a bit of extra damage on champions, which was sort of cool. I think it's B tier. It's definitely, it's a poor man's revitalizing blast. It was the mod they used to test Ignite. We have revitalizing blast at home. Revitalizing blast at home. That's the problem. A lot of these mods were designed to be paired with other things to work stronger. Okay. And right next to it, we've got Sundering Glare. I love this mod, by the way. Rapid precision hits against distant combatants, weaken them for a short duration. So this was like a weaken effect. Really good with scout rifles. I'm pretty sure we had like scout rifle mods at the time that season. I think this is A tier. I remember using it on Tanics, and we were baking Tanics with it. It was really cool. I'm going to put it A tier. It's one of my favorite debuff mods in the game. I don't know what it was. I think it's the icon as well. I love the icon, and it was really cool with scout rifles and stuff. Okay, next up, Suppression Mastery. Suppression effects you create have increased duration. This feels like a C tier to me. Good, but not fantastic. I'm feeling C tier, chat. Just didn't hit the mark. Okay, next up, this was Suppressive Darkness. Suppressive Darkness. Whenever you suppress a combatant, you also weaken them, causing them to take additional damage for a short time. D tier. Absolute. I don't think I used this, but some C tier had its uses. It's feeling like a C tier. I don't think it was useless, but it didn't really excel. 9 energy. I don't think we've ever had cost that high. Okay, next up, this is Surge Eater. Recharge your grenade ability whenever you or a member of your fire team disrupts a champion. Not totally game changing, but still quite useful. Feels like an A tier for me as well, Lizards. I'm feeling B tier. Did I put it in B tier there? Wait, did I just trip? Okay, B tier. Yeah, it didn't really influence the builds much, did it? Oh yeah, I remember this one. This was Tenderizer. Tenderizer. Staggering unstoppable champions temporarily boosts weapon damage for ally players. Here, this was a really cool mod. I actually remember having a lot of fun with this. I think it's A tier. At a glance and from memory, A tier. I'm pretty sure we had like unstoppable scouts that season as well, so it was like it felt really good to use because you were plinking away at champions. I'm putting it A tier, chat. Tenderizer. Okay, we're getting close. We're getting close to the end now, chat. Okay, next up, we've got this bad boy. This was Thermal Blooming. Rapidly defeating combatants with solar or stasis melee attacks creates an orb of power for your fire team members. Hunter Throne Knives, Thermal Blooming. I remember. Telesto made it busted. Wait, what did Telesto do with this one? Oh, yeah. You could spread out. You could throw out all the Telesto bolts in the ground and throw your melee at them. That's right. You could punch the Telestos. Okay, this is going in S tier, man. I remember throwing Hunter Stasis Knives everywhere. Okay, chat. Next up, we've got Thermoshock Plating. We've got this Season of the Resin. I think this is just S tier. I think we kind of agreed that the dual resist mods have been amazing. It's like an instant S tier. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Okay, next up, we've got Thunder Coil. Thunder Coil grants bonus damage for all arc melee abilities and refunds super energy on finisher final blows. I feel like I never really used these mods because we had a similar one earlier. I'd say B tier. I feel like it's a B tier as well. I don't know where it is. We'll just put it there now. Okay, next up is this one here. Oh, we get down to the last few rows. This one's called Tyrant's Surge. Tyrant's Surge. Dealing damage with arc melee, super, and grenade abilities spawns a Warmind cell. Here, this was a lot of fun, actually. You could just run around with Insurmountable Skullfort Titan, making Warmind cells everywhere. I like that. I like that. I think this is A tier. Being able to create Warmind cells out with weapons was always a really, really good ability to have. Unquenchable Thirst increases the buff of the 2 excess origin trait and the healing effect of Soul Drinker. Here, this is actually one of the better ones. I'd put this in A tier, man. 2 excess is actually pretty good. Like, see, getting all that ability energy back. If you've got a spare slot in your helmet, especially this season, I feel like there's not a lot of helmet mods that cost a lot of points. We have Unstoppable Linear Fusion and Fusion Rifles. This was a fantastic mod. Unstoppable Vex Mythoclast. It was beautiful. It was a thing of beauty. No, you still had to ADS for a second. Plus, it covered 2 weapon archetypes. Absolutely. Yeah, this is going straight S tier for me, chat. Need to say no more. Unstoppable Grenade Launchers. S tier for GL. Unstopped GL. I remember Fighting Lion becoming meta. S tier. I'm happy with S tier. Now here's one that I wish I'd used a bit more. We've got Unstoppable Shotguns. It just wasn't that great. You had to get close range and you would get stomped. I think this is more B tier. It was like 5 energy as well, wasn't it? I'll tell you, Unstoppable 4 Horsemen was the play. It was like 7. Yeah, it was just overpriced, man. But I'm afraid for me, it's going in B tier. Next up, we have Void Battery. Void Battery. Activating Void class abilities grants an overshield, increases cooldown of your class ability. So this was a quote-unquote balanced version as well. Maybe Essence Invis Dodge. It was quite strong with Invis Dodge. So we're thinking maybe A tier? You think S tier for Void Battery? Okay, Void Battery for me is going A tier. It was definitely stronger than the solar version, but it wasn't as good as Art Battery because it had the cooldown penalty. Okay, next up, this is Volatile Conduction. Volatile Conduction grants bonus arc super damage if cast while critically wounded. Lasts until the end of super activation. It was good on Titan, on anything else. C. Yeah, I think this because of how good it was for that use, I'd put it in B tier, but also because it was useless in every other subclass. Okay, next up, we've got Volatile Flow, a community favorite by far. Volatile Flow, collecting an elemental, a void elemental well, granted volatile rounds to your void weapons. So, don't worry, we know this is going to be S tier, chat. It was fantastic. Okay, next one's Warmind's Decree. Void splash damage final blows have a chance to create Warmind cells. This was a good mod. I remember using it with Deafening Whisper at the time. Telesto made Warmind cells. I'm pretty sure Fighting Lion can make Warmind cells as well. Warmind's Decree, I think it's A tier. It was a new way to create Warmind cells. Well of Potency. Picking up a matching elemental well grants you super energy. This was great. This was fantastic. Especially on stasis builds. You could fast charge a super. I think this is A tier. Not game breaking, but really strong for builds. Alright, we're going to keep on going. We've got Withering Heat next. Causing damage with solar ability weakens champions for a short time. I'm somewhere between A and B for this. I don't use it. I've never really used it. I'm going to keep this in A tier. It is useful and it's not totally crap. And it's got easy activation criteria. We're actually on the last leg. We're about to do all the champion weapons here. So we've got Anti-Barrier Hand Cannons. B tier for Anti-Barrier Hand Cannon. It definitely took quite a few shots to actually get the hand cannon to proc. Eyebrow Hand Cannon C. I'm round about B or C for hand cannons. Quite a few people putting it quite high. You definitely needed explosive payload on a hand cannon. And I'm pretty sure we didn't have Fatebringer either at the time. I'm going to go C tier. I don't think I can be swayed in that. Okay, next up we've got Anti-Barrier Pulse Rifles. Anti-Barrier Pulses have been great, honestly. A couple of bursts in your set. Quite a few B tiers. The Dungeon Pulse with adaptive munitions. It's a lot of fun. Okay, looks like a unanimous B from chat. Moving on, we've got Anti-Barrier Scout Rifles. I was thinking higher than B for sure. Night Watch, Vouchsafe, if you got explosive payload on them. I'm happy to put this in A tier. I'm with you, chat. I'm with you. A tier for Anti-Barrier Scout. Next up, Anti-Barrier SMGs. This one was rough. I remember this coming out in Shadowkeep. I think SMG struggled to pop a champ on one mag. Yeah, I think this is C tier. Although I do miss it. I would love to see it in the game now. Overload Swords. The thing about Overload Swords was that it relied heavily on passive guards. It feels like a B tier for me, man. For sure. Really fun though. Like it was something different. Overload Bow. Best mod in the game for champs. Chat's losing it. S tier, S tier. We demand S tier. I think Overload Bow is S tier as well. The most consistent legendary stun mod that we've had ever. Okay, next up we've got Overload Hand Cannon. Dude, this, I barely remember this. This must have been awful. Someone tell me this is C tier. I might really need chat's help on this. 3 taps for a stun. Explosive payload. Again, that's relying on a perk. Pretty consistent. B tier, A tier. It was the second best Overload mod. I might have to take your word on it, man. I'll drop it in A tier. I vaguely remember it. Okay, I'll keep it in A tier. That's me going with your word on it. Okay, next up, we're looking at Overload, SMG, and Auto Rifles. They've only really been bundled together. I think this sits in the C tier for me. C tier. It definitely feels good in auto rifles because you've got larger mags, longer range. You definitely have to really hold the stun though, and like staring down champions isn't always ideal. I'm fitting it in C tier. Okay, we're ignoring auto rifle on its own, or do you just want to place Overload? Like I would, if we're going to place it, I would put it in B tier. I would say it's better than SMGs. Worse or same. Okay. C tier for Overload autos. Okay, Overload Scout Rifle. It's been a while since we've had this one. High C to low B. Scouts always do well in the end game. I kind of want to put it in C tier. I don't remember getting a use out of it. I just don't remember getting any like luck out of it. So we think maybe B tier? Anti-Barrier Sidearm. I want to say it's A tier. S tier for Anti-Barrier Sidearm. I've loved using Anti-Barrier Sidearm this season. I'm going to put it in A tier. If someone said A tier in chat, that's it. I'm happy with that because I feel like that was going to be an uphill struggle. You guys know I've been using the sidearms this season, and Forerunner's nutty with it. Unstopped Glaive. I think Unstopped Glaive is insane. Unstopped Glaive's S tier for me. It instantly procs, and not to mention how useful Glaives are in GMs now. You can get up close. Got one more for S tier. Any more S tier gamers? I think Unstoppable Glaive's amazing, and they reduced the cost of it this season as well. Okay, I think Kenner tilted it for us to be S tier. Okay, next up we've got Unstoppable Hand Cannon. Something about precision weapons and Unstoppable. I think for me, this is going to be A, just because you can ADS, get your stun off, and then get to it, whilst having your hand cannon for other stuff. And as for anti-barrier. But it's A tier in that sense. Okay, next up, Unstoppable Pulse Rifle. B tier for Unstopped Pulse. This is an A or S tier for me. High A, low S. Obviously the exotic perk, all exotic pulses as well. Quite a few B tiers. I'm surprised for Unstopped Pulse. Can go next to anti-barrier pulse. We've got Unstoppable Scout. Scouts have always been really good with champions. It's looking like A tier for me. We've got a few A tiers in chat. It looks like a unanimous A tier for everybody. A tier easy. Oh, that was an easy one. We've made it to the last mod. Unstoppable Sidearms. Here, by the way, this came out and it was bad. It was so bad. S tier? I must have just sucked at the game then. A tier, bare minimum. Okay. Yeah, it would be nuts with Forerunner. I'm glad the Sidearms have made an A tier. And I thought you guys memed me for using Sidearms. Chat, this is it. How do we feel about that? Yeah, you can spam hi YouTube. Well, we made it to the end. This is the Pigeon and Pigeon Coop definitive artifact, seasonal artifact mod tier list. Thanks for the confetti. I'm sure that'll make it to the final cut, but I'm not on my YouTube anymore. If you guys haven't subbed already, now's a good chance to subscribe for more. Thanks again for 1,000 subscribers on the channel. We'll keep the content coming. Oh, this was all done live on my Twitch channel, by the way. There'll be a link on... link down there. There'll be a link on the screen. You know how it works.